Hey everyone, it's Nicholas, otherwise known as Nick Genesis, the host of Next Top Singer 2019. I am 26 from Ontario, Canada. I just thought I would share some of my experiences and my thoughts in regards to the show. So hopefully you find that interesting, and yeah. When I started doing this, when I started pursuing voice acting, I never really thought that a singing competition was going to be something that I would end up being a part of. But honestly, I've had a blast so far. It's been so much fun being the Ryan Seacrest for this show. I don't really watch a lot of singing competitions, so that's probably the most recent, most modern reference I have to that. I don't know any of the other new hosts, but I'm sure they're great. It's been really interesting trying to develop a host persona, which is really different than my normal persona. I'm normally a pretty laid-back, soft-spoken, kind of shy, introverted person. So developing this really confident, high energy kind of character almost was really interesting. And being the voice of Next Top Singer 2019 has really been an honor and a privilege. And I've been really thankful and really blessed to be on board so far. So thank you, Petri, for having me on board for this. It's been a lot of fun. During the course of the competition, I really had no idea who was going to win. After listening to all the auditions and watching everyone get through the rounds and whatnot, every competitor brought really, so much to the table. When we got to the end of it, I really had no idea who it could have gone to anyone. Everyone was just really good. I was almost on the edge of my seat waiting to see who won. Even though I was hosting the competition, I didn't really find out who would be eliminated and who'd be winning until the very last moment, basically when everyone else did. So obviously, a huge congrats are in order for Heather. Congrats, Heather, you deserve this win for sure. It was awesome watching you go from qualifier all the way to winner during the course of this season, and watching your progression and your transformation as an artist during the course of this competition. It was awesome. It was great working with you as a mentor as well. I hope that, some of my advice or whatever came in handy, and I hope it was as beneficial to you as it was to me. It's not always easy to ask for an outside perspective, especially when it comes to art. I know myself, with my own endeavors, I tend to not take criticism the best, and I'm often hard on myself. So one thing that I will say, and that goes to everyone, not just to you, Heather, but to anybody, any artist, is don't be too hard on yourself. It's important to push yourself, but you have to remember that you have a talent, and sometimes you need to give yourself a little pat on the back. And to those who made it to the final, you were all equally deserving of the win. You each brought such strength and passion to your singing, and that was impossible to miss. All of you, if you continue along with your musical journeys, you're all gonna do great things, honestly. I don't think I can kind of go through this without mentioning the judges. The judges all had their own, unique personality and perspective that they brought to each deliberation round. And they all came from, different kind of musical backgrounds, Mark playing guitar and being a producer, Petri playing piano and composing, and of course Andrea being an incredible singer. Each judge brought something different to the table, and that was awesome. Listening to their deliberations and seeing when they were in agreement and when they were in disagreement, and some of the things that Mark said just had me laughing. He's very much the Simon Cowell of Next Top Singer, and I wouldn't change that for the world. If I had to kind of highlight one other singer during this competition, and someone that became a personal favorite of mine during the competition, was Nathaniel. When we entered the rock round, Nathaniel really showed off just how versatile of a vocalist he is. He took that round and he just blew me away. I was not expecting that kind of vocal tone and that kind of song to come from Nathaniel. That was just awesome, man. And your rendition of Pavarotti in the final, I was speechless. Absolutely speechless. That was amazing. And going back on the rock round, I'd say that was probably my favorite theme song choice thing, just because of how big of a metalhead and how much I love rock music and metal. It was a real treat to hear the music that I grew up loving and listening to taking place during the course of the competition. And of course I got to guest judge, so I'm a little biased there. I actually really liked the group round too. The group round was a lot of fun. It was really cool to hear everyone's voices come together and seeing what kind of songs they picked and which singers took which parts and how they all came together for harmonies. That's something that's really challenging, especially when it's one of these online competitions where a lot of the people don't know each other, so there's a lot of uncertainty to it, but I think all the groups did really well. I do have a few things a few tips for future contestants. Just, little pieces of advice here and there. Just give your recording a quick once over before you submit it. Obviously we're not expecting studio quality. It doesn't have to sound like you paid thousands of dollars for it, but there's obnoxiously loud breaths, mouth noises, strange cutoffs, audio glitches, just little things like that can make the song really jarring and distracting, especially if we're getting towards the, the later ends of the competition. That's not something that you want. You want to do your due diligence and make sure that you aren't leaving little stuff like that in that's going to make your performance seem a little bit less professional than someone else's who may be singing just as well or maybe even slightly worse than you. You never know. And please don't be afraid to consult the mentors for any help or advice. We were here to help throughout the whole competition. And while a lot of you did, a lot of you didn't, and maybe you didn't need us. But if you felt like, you were bothering us or you were taking up too much of our time, that was not the case. We were always here. Oh, sorry if my cat got picked up in that, but yeah, we were always here and we were always willing to help. So for those of you who are going to be competing in the next season, us mentors will be here. Though the 2019 season is over, I'm hoping to stick around for wherever the show goes from here, be it as a mentor, host, or something else entirely. Either way, this has been Nick Genesis. Thank you guys so much for having me as your host and taking me along on this little journey, and I hope to see you all again in the future. See ya.